So yes, my husband had an affair.
Your husband is a predator that exploited me first. That's not an affair.
This is Allison, and you are watching For Real Media YouTube channel.
I never wanted to come to social media with this. I have honestly just been giving it to God and going to therapy, but let's go ahead and address this comment. At the start of the year, my husband came to me and told me that a woman reached out to him on Twitter asking for help with her business. I don't know what it was about the woman. My husband has worked with many other women before this. It was just something about this woman that I was like, babe, I don't know about this. Something just doesn't feel right. And lo and behold, my intuition was correct. Said business relationship ended up transpiring into something more. When I found out that it was transpiring into something more, I fought my husband on this. I tried to get my husband to understand that what was going on was not right and that he was opening a door for him to fall into a sin that was so much bigger than what he was already committing. And because he was not hearing me, I left my home in the middle of the night, pregnant with nothing. And it all spiraled out of control. And maybe this is where my downfall comes into play, because maybe had I not left from the house, maybe had I had fought my husband a little bit harder than I had already been fighting, this relationship would not have advanced in the way it did. My husband sought comfort in this woman. She was giving him something that I was not giving him in those moments. I was definitely being quarrelsome because I just was trying to pound into his head, like, you're gonna fall, you're being tempted and you're going to fall. When I left, he fell. Now, I cannot speak on that. That is not my testimony to speak on. And I'm just going to leave that there. In that, I decided to stand for my marriage still, and I decided to go with reconciliation rather than divorce. I never defended my husband when it came to him having said affair. I fought my husband. Like I said, I left my house 20 weeks pregnant in the middle of the night with nothing but the clothes on my back because I was so against what was going on. I don't use godly character to hide any darkness. I speak on all the time how my marriage is not perfect. I am not a perfect person. I do use godly character in sense of extending forgiveness to my husband, extending grace to my husband, as well as the woman who was involved with the affair. I did speak to her. I spoke to her on the situation. I told her how I wanted nothing more in life but to be a wife and a mom, and how I felt like that was being attacked. I spoke life into her. I told her that she was a beautiful woman, and I didn't understand how, we were falling into what we were falling into. I am trying to navigate this journey of motherhood while also being a wife, and it's one of the things that I prayed for so hard, and I just feel like it's been taken away from me just because of this whole scandal. I feel like I've honestly just been living in a vortex. This literally began at the start of the year, and it's currently almost the end of the year, and here I am being harassed by this woman because my husband told her that he had to cut off the affair. As soon as the affair was cut off, it just spiraled into us being these horrible people and saying that we're trying to grow. Yes, we are trying to grow. Yes, we are trying to grow. We are trying to become stronger in our marriage, and I'm trying to, it's just so much. Just so many allegations that are being made and so many lies that are being spewed from the numerous accounts that have been harassing me that this woman has been making.
He also began to actually harass me by sending his genitals without my permission or it being even a conversation. For example, he sent me a video pulling his down in the elevator, exposing his genitals completely to me. He also sent me a picture of him completely naked, exposing his genitals to me as well, completely unprovoked. I now see that was part of the process. He was testing my boundaries to see how far he could go. And at the time, I was slightly desensitized because he has been, meticulously breaking down my guard by one, presenting himself as my mentor, employer, but also the fact that his wife is okay with this behavior, and then also just using the fact that I am still like underneath this contract and I still want to remain connected to him because, again, I'm thinking like, okay, like that's weird, but I want success. I just have to deal with it pretty much. And I didn't have to deal with it. I know that now. But I didn't have to deal with it. But at the time I did. I just endured it because um, I felt like he was my opportunity out of my, hard place that I've been in for years. So during that time as well, but I still wasn't interested. I still was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, I just want to focus on business. You know what I mean? But he was just guilt tripping me, honestly. Like, he was just like, oh, you're missing out on your blessing. God blessing you, and da 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 da, you're gonna miss out. And he was just he was like making me feel bad that I didn't want to deal with him. And I'm just like, what? And it worked. Like, it worked. I did start thinking like, damn, like, am I missing out on something? Like, he did, I'm thinking like from all the signs of him, reaching out to me, wanting to work with me, inviting me to Dallas with all these big people, like maybe I am missing out on, being connected to someone who would really help me be on my level. Um, so eventually I kind of succumbed to the manipulation.
Marriage is God-ordained union for a man and a woman to become one. It's true the husband cheated on the wife. I know it might not be his very first time of doing that as a husband. And truly, people who understand what marriage is and wants it to work out tends to forgive their partner on some of the things they didn't see as deal breaker for them in marriage. Mind you, I'm not trying to justify the husband act. All I am saying is that the wife is only doing all this simply because she wants her marriage to work. She doesn't want a broken home for her kids. Although in the eyes of people, they really want her to get a divorce and move on. But remember, no perfect marriage anyway. It never easy for her to take the whole humiliation and shame from her husband, but standing tall and deciding to work it out with her husband is a great way to building and putting her family first, and it tells how good of a mother and a wife she is. Forgiving is one of the hardest decisions to make, but she did it because she knew walking away is never the best thing to do, and people can go on to talk bad about her as their business, not hers. I will always tell people to get married first before they go on to advise a married couple. Don't just talk, because talking is cheap. And also, you think because you feel divorce is simply the best, then is the right thing at the moment, not knowing your emotions got the best part of you.
And the essentially, and I started to accept like his reality, like that this was a poly dynamic, that he wanted to marry me, he wanted me to be his wife. By day 30, I'm fully enmeshed with him, thinking that I am his wife. He is my husband. This is a thing, this is real. It's so embarrassing. And his wife runs away, I believe, one day before we were supposed to go to Dallas. And he went looking for her, found a tape of her walking out of their apartment. He knew, like, this was another red flag, because after he figured out where she was, he literally posted her on Twitter to be like, oh, my wife is missing, guys, please look out, please. And I'm just like, you know where she is. Like, why are you trying to get attention? Like, that's weird. And I told him to delete it because I'm like, you know where she is. Like, this doesn't really make her look good. Like, that's weird. Like, what are you doing? So he ends up deleting it, and that's when after that, he was trying to claim that she might be bipolar because her mother is bipolar, I believe. And he was trying to claim to her family that she was bipolar when really she was just running away because his mom had told her to do so, I think. And it was all in an attempt to get him to stop talking to me and like care for her or something like that, I guess. But Dallas was coming up, and I'm like what was going on with her? Like, she was safe, she was like good. I'm still just thinking, like, I'm being pretty selfish, I'm not gonna lie. I'm being pretty selfish, I'm being like a little self-centered, because I'm like, I want to go to Dallas because this man is promising me that he's gonna like change some things. I'm gonna get around the right people. I'm like, this is an opportunity. Like, I didn't want to lose out on it and miss it. So I get to Dallas. It's like 10:52. We go out. We get some appetizers, get a pizza, whatever. And after that, we come back home. I think we went somewhere else. But no, whatever. It doesn't even matter. We went out and then we came back home. And I take a shower. I put on my nightdress. I put on a bonnet. And I'm just in bed. Not to mention, I didn't even mention this, that before we went to Dallas, I wanted separate hotel rooms. I did not want to be in the same hotel room as him. But he made me feel guilty about doing that. Like, are you sure you want separate hotels? Do we really have to do that? And I'm just like, I guess not. You know, just being a people pleaser. I am just laying on the bed like this because I am in Dallas and this is my first time ever meeting this man. I'm thinking that, like, you know, he is like my partner, but at the same time, like, I don't really know him. Like I'm like kind of having that cognitive dissonance. Like, you know, he says these things, but at the same time, I don't know this man. So I am just laying there like this. He comes out the shower this way. He comes out the shower. He gets here. Like, he comes out the shower from here, gets on top of me from here, pulls my dress up, pushes my legs back. Sorry, not to get graphic. And then he asked me, like, and like, it's just one movement. It's not, are you okay? Like, let me do this. Like, are you good? Like, how are you feeling? Like, no, it's bathroom. He's here. Pulls my dress out, pushing my legs back. He's naked, comes out completely naked. And he's like on his knees and, you know, full body, like, and he's like, she's like, are you sure you're ready for this? Like, are you ready for this? He said something along those lines. And I'm like, no. Like, whoa, you know what I mean? But I freeze because it's already in motion. Like, I don't know, like, he's not a small man. The man is like 6'4", 2 something, 6'3", 2 something. And he's on top of me. I said no, and he penetrates me. He starts having sex with me. And the whole time, I'm just thinking, like, oh shit. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to curse. But it was just like a yikes. Like, in my mind, I'm just like, yikes, like, this is happening, yikes, you know? And afterwards, I remember just feeling like, dang, I did not want that to happen. Like, I'm just like kicking myself. But I'm not processing that he just assaulted me. I'm thinking, I just did something that I didn't want to do. And this man is also telling me that he loves me. I'm his wife. So, oh well.
Is really a concern when a young lady comes out to defend herself cheating with someone's husband. And then I ask, where are the morals and values we are being taught while growing up? She clearly stated that she knows the man was married, but still succumbed to his advances because of what she have stated in her to benefit from the man. Obviously, she had a plan, and she carried it out because she wanted it. And then she continued going on and on with the man. There is nothing like playing victim here. She clearly knew what she was in for, and didn't think twice before being with the man. Or maybe they promised each other marriage, and she waited for his divorce. And when the divorce wasn't coming forth, their relationship ended. And she is coming out here to claim victim. You didn't object when you two were in a room together, and also you didn't reject when he kept talking you about being his wife and so on. So how do you want us to believe you now? It's obvious you were enjoying the attention while your fellow woman was hurting. Is okay if his wife wants to work on their marriage, but please no one should blame her because she never supported her husband cheating. The fact she has been through a lot in this shame she never wanted is enough reason to believe her. I just hope she gets the love she deserves from the husband and for his mistress. I hope she is okay. What are your thoughts on this video? Please share your opinions in the comments section and subscribe to my channel.